Halle was born on March 10th, 2010. She was adorable, the most perfect little bundle of joy. The day we were supposed to take her home, they heard a heart murmur, and the doctor seemed to think it would be nothing. It's nothing, it's a heart murmur. We hear this a lot in little kids. So they took her to x-ray, and they found out that she had these lumps in her heart. At that point, they started suspecting something called tuberous sclerosis. I saw my little girl's brain with these big tumors all over her brain. I guess it was like the absolute worst day of my life. We just cried and cried. The seizures were just horrible. She'd fall asleep crying, and then she'd wake up, she'd be okay for about an hour, and then the seizures would start again.
The disorder has a profound effect on the entire family. I think no one escapes the impact of this diagnosis and this disorder.
They would try her on a drug, she would respond to it immediately, she would stop her seizures, then within 24 hours the seizures would come back. They would happen one after the other, after the other, after the other.
You can imagine what it's like having a couple here in Manhattan bring in their 8-month-old daughter for brain surgery. It's a very radical and crazy idea. This was a young girl that was having seizures for half of her life, and we were trying as hard as we could to do something to help this child's quality of life.
I wanted her to have that, possibility of a normal life, and I knew in every ounce of my body that this surgery was the right thing for Halle. Since that date, which was at this point about 2.5 years ago, she maybe has had one seizure. I need to knock on wood here. It almost feels like we just avoided getting hit by a bus.
Among all disorders, I think TSC is one in which medical research has made some of the greatest advances in the past decade. We have identified the 2 TSC genes, we know where they are, we know what proteins they code for. Hope for a cure in TSC is realistic.
It's critical that we get private funding from people like yourselves, generous individuals who will see this as a mission and as a cause and will help drive us forward in novel and new directions.
We need additional funding. We need it for targeted, focused, translational projects that could really make a difference for people. And there is a gap in the funding right now. There is only so much funding available for groups like ours and many others that want to do so much more to help individuals and families with TSC, but we are limited in the amount of research that we can do, and Bcureful has the opportunity to fill that gap.
Halle is doing great. She has fun, she plays, she runs, she jumps. And then if I could go around and thank every single person that gave money towards that research that led to that discovery, I would do that. I would give them the biggest hug and kiss that I possibly could. I feel so lucky, yes. With enough money and enough people caring about it and devoting themselves and whatever they can to finding a cure, there will be one at some point in time.